Let's go to my next storyline in Super Bowl 59, and that is the officials. There's one thing that people been talking about when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs all year is the referees. And I've been on record saying that I think officials across sports have been bad. And it's just the last year I've seen some terrible calls across all sports. But the NFL officiating has been really, really bad this year, to the point where a lot of people are thinking that this is rigged and that the NFL just wants the Chiefs in the Super Bowl because they can have a chance to three-peat and have Taylor Swift there. And I get the sentiment. I'm probably one of the few people who don't think that Josh Allen got a first down last week. But I think the NFL is not a league like the NBA where they need a big big market team or a big market storyline in the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl and the NFL sell themselves. You can't convince me that less people are going to watch if this was Buffalo Bills versus the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a big storyline right there, with the Bills losing 4 in a row in the 90s with the Super Bowl, with Josh Allen getting them back to the promised land. Josh Allen finally beating Patrick Mahomes. That's a big storyline. I don't believe there's some meeting that they have to say we need to get the Chiefs into the Super Bowl. I just don't buy that. But this storyline is going to be something that's going to continue to be talked about, especially if there's a big play in the Super Bowl that swings towards the Chiefs' favor. It is not a good thing for the NFL PR-wise that game, the AFC Championship game, was almost a week ago, and people were still talking about that first down play, that fourth down play that a lot of people thought should have been called a first down. So I'm really interested to see how the refs are going to call this one. Are they going to let them play? Is this going to be a more tightly contested game? And is there going to be a play at the end? Because as much as I will give the Chiefs respect, and as much as I say I don't think that it's rigged, I do believe there are some calls they get over their run that have had perfect timing. You know, if you look at the Super Bowl a couple years ago, where you have that call on Bradbury, and Bradbury, all of a sudden you just bring Harrison Bucker out and they kick the field goal. I didn't like that play 3 years ago. That took not 2 years ago, that let them get to that game when they should have lost Cincinnati again, but they called the unnecessary roughness call out of bounds when Patrick Mahomes got pushed out of bounds in the AFC Championship game. I just didn't believe you should have called that at that point. So I really want to see how they're going to handle this, especially with all the people having eyes on this. Dante, what do you think about the refs, all the heat on the Kansas City Chiefs, and do you think this is going to be a big factor heading into the game?
It's not going to be a big factor. It's going to be one of those things where people are going to, look at this with a microscope, and there's going to be one play that really has no effect on the game that they say, see, you see how this happens? See how it keep happening? This is something that happens all the time with teams that we don't like. We always find a way to say, that the refs are helping them, the league needs them to win. The reality is, the NFL is like Vegas. The house always wins. There is no losing for the NFL. So the idea that they needed to help Kansas City get back and try to get this three-peat, I think that's silly. And it's just more of an issue that we have now that fans are able to, express their feelings together in this group think, and we have social media, and we've cultivated these fan groups the way we have, and fan is short for fanatic at the end of the day. So you have a lot of folks who are really just sitting there hell bent on finding some type of conspiracy. You got the folks who think that all sports are rigged and that Vegas is in on it and the leagues are in on it. And I'm here to tell you firsthand, if you really think, no disrespect to athletes, if you really think that these niggas would be able to hold a conspiracy down of that magnitude, you're insane. But it's something that I'm just not going to be concerned with at all. But I think overall, the game with these two teams, the game will be good enough to where it won't really be a factor.
Bang, what you think about these refs, storyline around the refs, and do you think it's going to be a big thing?
Man, it's always, being honest, there's always a storyline around refs, no matter what. It's just magnified, as we get older. But shit, people been taught, look, and back in my day, Ed Hockley swole ass was going to goddamn Super Bowls and shit, and people been wanting this shit. I don't think it's going to be a factor in the game. I think this game is going to be won and lost by the trenches more than anything. Now, I will say this: could there be a situation where it's late in the game and a call could shape the game? A call could put somebody in field goal position or something like that. Yeah, that's a possibility, but that's a possibility like that in every other game that you'll get. So I'm not necessarily worried about the refs here. I'm just waiting to see a great game.
triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gon' hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gon' hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gon' hold you. Money on the other line.